Hey everybody. So I wanted to share this story that I heard about the other day. Apparently, the Ghost Adventure, we have Zach Baggins and his friend Aaron Goodwin. Aaron Goodwin had been married, I guess, since like 2020. And the woman he married saw a documentary on Netflix about a guy who killed his entire family and fell in love and apparently started this crazy text relationship with this guy where she eventually tried to hire him to off Aaron Goodwin. She was trying to get him to coordinate something. He's currently serving time in prison, by the way. So, over text, she wanted to send him money. He got in contact with somebody on the outside who was going to do this while Aaron was filming an episode of Ghost Adventures. Um, this is absolutely insane. So let's hear a little bit more about it. I've got this YouTuber, Loey Lane, who's going to tell us a little bit more about it.
Now, in order to set up this next one, I have to do a little bit of a shameless self plug because recently, for a TikTok video and just in my own time, I've been keeping up with updates on the Aaron Goodwin murder for hire case, which Aaron is a member of the Ghost Adventures cast, if you're familiar with that show. And recently, it came out that his wife was literally plotting his murder with a man in prison that she discovered because she was watching his true crime documentary. It is insane. This true crime documentary would end up leading to this woman putting a hit out on her husband.
That is
crazy. That is Aaron from Ghost Adventures. And his wife in 2022 when they got married outside of Disney's Haunted Mansion. As of right now, I don't think we know what in the world gave her this idea, but Victoria Goodwin, although I guess that's not going to be her name much longer, apparently saw that documentary Control Alt Desire about the Grant Amato case, looks Grant up and is like, ooh, I want a piece of that. Ew. Weirdo. Over the next couple of months, she starts plotting a murder for hire plot, apparently going so far as to take out a contract and sending Grant Amato money in jail. So apparently the text exchanges began in May 2024 after Victoria saw Grant in the Paramount Plus docuseries Control Alt Desire. They start communicating via text and apparently are madly in love with each other at some point. I don't know if she reaches out because she thinks he's fine. I don't know if they fell in love over the course of it. Ew. But the important detail here is that she says that her husband, Aaron, will not accept a filing for divorce.
How does she know
that? At one
that?
point going so far as to ask Amato, am I a bad person because I chose to end his
Yes, you are a bad person for doing that. That is completely insane. So she just decided, okay, he doesn't want to get a divorce. I think I'll just kill him. You could have left, dude. It's a piece of paper. Okay, marriage is important. That's not what I'm trying to say. But, like, okay, you're gonna kill him instead of just walking away? Like,
existence, not divorce. Apparently, when confronted with these text messages, Victoria went on to tell police that she did not recall sending them.
Didn't recall.
And that any, evidence that she was sitting there telling Grant Amato that she was in love with him was all, a big fantasy in her head. Those text messages started in May of 2024. She was arrested March 6th. This is a Valentine's Day photo from this year that Aaron posted to his Instagram. Imagine just going out for a Valentine's Day date with your husband who you had an entire murder for hire plot going for months. I believe the communication between them ceased in October of last year. Grant and Victoria, I mean. So she's in jail, he's filed for divorce, but Aaron is also seeking punitive damages because apparently there was some other stuff going on in their marriage where she was very controlling and apparently abusive.
Okay, so she was just crazy this whole time. Apparently, she had some control issues. And I think she just wanted him dead because she couldn't control him the way she wanted to. I don't know what's going on. Allegedly, I'm just speculating. This is crazy.
And confined him to boundaries of her choosing. There's this vacation vlog of the two of them on Aaron's YouTube channel that people are talking about a lot because this trip happened at the same time that she was literally planning the murder for hire plot and talking to Grant Amato on the daily, telling him she was in love with him and that she needed Aaron, her husband, dead. The whole thing is crazy. I'm glued to every single update. Not to make light of it, but I've seen a lot of people say that Zach Baggins is already trying to kill this man in every episode of Ghost Adventures. But in all seriousness, I just cannot imagine the betrayal that you would feel. Thank God he's okay and found out now before something terrible happened. But yeah, stay spooky and stay safe out there, friends.
Oh my god. I cannot even imagine. So, I wanted a little bit more information on this story, so I went to the source, TMZ. Everything important is talked about on TMZ when it comes to celebrities. So, as of when this was written, which is March 11th, they have a little bit of info on here about it. So, it says that she paid the hitman to kill her husband. She was arrested last week and booked on two charges: solicitation to commit murder and conspiracy to commit murder. After police said she hatched a plan to kill Aaron while he was filming his show with Zach Baggins. So she was trying to off him during an episode. Like, what was she going to pretend the ghost got him? Oh, it wasn't me. It was the ghost. Zach made him go into one too many rooms with the lights out. According to the arrest report obtained by TMZ, cops say Victoria was messaging an inmate in Florida prison about getting out of her marriage to Aaron when she asked, "Am I a bad person because I chose to end his existence, not divorce?" Yes, definitively, yes. That makes you a bad person. So, this is Aaron. Yeah. Police say Victoria provided info about Aaron's location and filming times in California, where he was filming Ghost Adventures at the time. Cops say Aaron's wife set aside $11,515 to pay the alleged hitman. That's a lot of money. And they say the inmate she was communicating with messaged a guy about the alleged plot. So I guess the guy she was talking to, the criminal inside, messaged somebody on the outside who he was communicating with to actually take out Aaron. And so the criminal said to the guy he was talking to, "He's asleep right now in the hotel room. I need to know what's going on. Can I get an update? Was it done?" That is crazy. This allegedly happened back in October. So, like, did the guy get the money? Like, was the money actually transferred? And did he actually try? And was this only stopped because somebody found out about it, like, ahead of time? This is crazy. This allegedly happened back in October. Aaron is still very much alive. That's good. Though it's unclear what went down with the alleged hitman, okay? But cops claim there were specific messages about $2,500 of upfront payment. Oh, wow. Okay, that's a lot of money. Oh, that is so pretty. Oh my goodness. Okay. Police say they only caught wind of the alleged plot after corrections officers found and seized the inmate's contraband phone at his Florida prison. Yeah, so again, I wonder, like, was this just stopped because of that? Like, would something have happened to him, I wonder, if it wasn't for this police officer finding out about this? This is crazy. So, that's crazy. Or did the hitman just kind of chicken out? Okay, so for her part, police say Victoria denied wanting Aaron to be killed and says she was daydreaming or fantasizing about being without her husband. Cops say she also told them she didn't remember sending the messages and doesn't want her hubby killed. Then why'd she send the money? That's bullshit. So she's only sorry, to me, allegedly. It sounds like she's only sorry she got caught. Because, I mean, who sends a payment like that and sends messages like that and doesn't intend to go through with it? Come on. Okay. Let's see. Where was I? Um, so where was I? I talk too much. Daydreaming or fantasizing. Okay. Confronted, she said she didn't do it. She thought that the money was for cell phones and mentioned that she and Aaron were going through marital problems. She thinks that she sent $2,500 for cell phones? Come on now. Come on. Come on. No. Aaron, who married Victoria in August 2022 at the Haunted Mansion in Disneyland. Now, it says 2022, but I'm pretty sure I read somewhere it was 2020. So, yeah, I don't know. He thought he was in a happy marriage and he was blindsided and devastated at this turn of events. Zach tells us it's an emotional time for Aaron and he's trying to give him love and support. We're told that Victoria is being held on $100,000 bail, and it appears that she's still currently in police custody. Well, good. She needs to stay in police custody. Um, yeah, I think I read somewhere that the divorce papers actually show that they had gotten married in 2020. Let's look at my next tab over here. So, I wanted to get a little bit more info. So, this is just a little bit old still, but it has a little bit more info on what happened to her. This is at Victoria. Um, this is when she was in court. So it says that prosecutors in Nevada have agreed to reduce charges against the estranged wife of Ghost Adventures star Aaron Goodwin. Why would they do that? Why would they reduce the charges? Probably so that she'll admit to something, right? But if they have everything like in the text as proof, I don't know why they necessarily need a confession when they have proof of what she said. But she was accused of conspiring to hire a hitman to kill her husband. Victoria Goodwin appears in court Tuesday, April 8th. She was arrested in March. Communicated with the Florida inmate last year, offered to pay him more than $11,500. On Tuesday, prosecutors agreed to drop the solicitation to commit murder charge. That was a big one. Attorneys said in court the case will move to district court, where she will plead to one count of conspiracy to commit murder. So conspiracy but no solicitation? That's crazy. She totally solicited, sounds like. Victoria is due back in court on April 10th. Court documents identified the inmate as Grant Amato, whose inmate ID number was confirmed with Florida Department of Corrections records. Amato is serving a life sentence for the murder of his parents and brother. Amato murdered his family after an argument over his obsession with a webcam model, which had caused a turmoil in the family for months. So he is a freaking prince too. That's insane. I mean, we know that he obviously was a piece of shit because he's in prison. Um, but I mean, everybody in prison is probably not a piece of shit. But I mean, this guy had a whole documentary written about him, so he is an absolute piece of shit, I guess. And yeah, so how do you fall in love with somebody like this? That's crazy. Yeah, let's just watch a documentary about a crazy guy who killed his whole family and just fall madly in love. That's crazy. Authorities unraveled the alleged murder for hire plot when his cell phone was seized. One message allegedly said, "Am I a bad person?" Aaron was filming Ghost Adventures in California when the plot was meant to unfold in October 2024. Police cited messages from Amato to an alleged hitman saying that he's asleep right now in his room. What's going on? Give me an update. Was it done? Let's see if there's any updates down here. When Victoria was taken into custody, she told investigators she had become aware of Grant Amato through a true crime documentary and began writing to him. Victoria described their relationship as pen pals and further said at that time she and Aaron were having marital problems and began connecting with Amato. Aaron and Victoria wed in May of 2020. Yeah, that's what I thought. according to divorce documents obtained by Court TV. Following Victoria's arrest, Aaron filed for divorce on March 12th, citing the views, tastes, likes, and dislikes of husband and wife have become incompatible to the extent that it has become impossible for them to live together as husband and wife in marital harmony. No duh. There is no possibility of reconciliation between husband and wife. Yeah, that's insane. I can totally see there is absolutely no way to reconcile. In my opinion, if something like that happened, I don't care how sorry the other person is, you cannot reconcile that. How could you ever sleep next to them again? Or eat anything they cooked? What if they're trying to poison you or something? I definitely couldn't trust them again. How about you guys? So if something like this happened to you and like your significant other was doing something like this, but then let's say just like hypothetically, they were like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean it." Could you ever work it out and trust them again? Let me know down in the comments. That is completely crazy to me. Um, so let's kind of lighten it up a little bit and let's check out some of the memes that I have pulled up for this occasion. So we're looking at kind of some ghosty stuff. So I pulled up some ghost memes. So this is apparently why cats are knocking stuff off. So they're being told by ghosts that they should do it. So he's like, sadness? I can't knock this over. Doof. Happiness? Thank you. Let's see here. I am feeling sad. Well, maybe you should get into an elevator to lift your spirits. I'd punch you in the face if I could. Oh my gosh. That is funny. Let's see, we got one more here. Boo! I feel horrible for scaring people. I can't even look at myself in the mirror anymore. Haha, literally, I can't. Oh gosh. That's terrible. Okay, so just to kind of end on a better note, yeah, because that first story was pretty crazy, and those memes were kind of stupid. So I pulled up a haunting Reddit story. So yeah, following this ghost theme, I thought it'd be kind of fun to read a spooky story. Let's see. My haunting experience from my childhood home. Hi. I know this might not sound true or scary, but experiencing it yourself, it's terrifying. For context, we have a terraced house. So our house and our neighbor's house are together. It's a two-story high, two-room upstairs, living room, kitchen, bathroom, and a laundry room. When walking up to the house, you will go through the patio, or you will go past the living room window and to our door. We had a few windows in the whole house, but they are all in almost normal human height from outside, so people can just stare in. Anyway, that is what I would describe our house like. I grew up in that house, so I only know most of these stories from my parents. Thinking about it now, it's giving me goosebumps. So I was around 3 to 4 years old, and I was outside the house playing. My mom suddenly noticed that I was giggling a lot and sounded like I was talking to someone. We know everyone in town, so she didn't think too much of it. When she went outside for a quick smoke, she could see me from the patio, but she couldn't see the person I was talking to. So she called over asking who I was talking to. I told her I was talking to an old man and that he wanted to come inside and play with me and my toys. She thought I was talking to an imaginary friend, so she said yes, that he could, not knowing she had invited a not friendly phenomenon into our house. Oh my gosh, that is terrifying. Because this old guy was not friendly at all, as a kid I didn't know it, but when I grew older, I could tell he wasn't just an imaginary friend. He was an evil spirit. He would knock on our doors and windows, knock things down, or move them around. He was the reason I couldn't walk down our stairs forward, only backwards. He would push me down the stairs and make loud thumping sounds down or up the stairs. When I was 12 years old, we started sleeping in our living room for 2 to 3 years because the old guy stayed upstairs in our bedrooms. I remember I had a lot of sleep paralysis up in my bedroom, where the old guy was scaring me, walking slowly towards me. He had really dark eyes, almost black, around 60 to 70 years old, open mouth, and had a raspy old voice. He didn't say much when he did, but in short sentences. I can't remember them, but I know he wanted to tell me something. You'll understand at the end of the story. I remember one thing from when we slept in our living room. I had an out of body experience. I was watching me and my parents sleeping. Oh, so the whole family went down and started sleeping in the living room, huh? Suddenly, I noticed a shadow at our kitchen door, and I noticed that it was looking at my mom. Then I noticed that my mom had sleep paralysis, but this time it wasn't the old guy she saw, but a demon with a long cloak and was holding chains in its hand. It swung them like a lasso and threw it at my mom's feet. The chains locked to my mom's feet, and my mom couldn't do anything but watch it, trying to scream. The demon started to pull my mom off the couch, and she just laid motionless. As soon as she hit the floor, she could finally scream and woke up my dad and me. She couldn't talk, and my dad was so confused. So I told him what I saw, and we called the priest to cleanse our house. My mom couldn't walk on her feet for over a week after that experience. Whoa. When we were going to move to Denmark from our home city, we had to get the boxes from the attic, and we were getting them down. We found a picture of the old man. We quickly found our Bible and we said prayers, burned the picture, and I just felt at peace. I knew he was trying to tell me something, but I still never know why. Later, I found out that the old guy was my friend's grandpa who died years ago, but he lived in the house before us. I go visit his grave whenever I'm in our old city. I don't know why I wrote it here. I just haven't told many about this. Has anyone else experienced something like this? Thank you for reading. Oh, wow. Okay. So that's a crazy story. Uh, so what do you guys think? Are ghosts real? Have you ever had an experience like this? Maybe something crazier than this? Something not so crazy? I actually have a few ghost stories of my own. But I'm not going to share them right now. So if anyone wants to hear them, let me know in the comments, and maybe we'll make a future video, and I'll share some of those. Uh, but yeah, let's get some debates going. Like, are ghosts real? Do you think any of this stuff has any kind of like explanation that could explain how maybe his mom couldn't walk on her feet for like a week? That's weird. Alright, so I think I'm going to end this video here. Um, and I'll give you guys an update on the Aaron Goodwin story if I hear what's going on. Alright, bye!